Good afternoon. My name is Kerry Ullman, and I live in Fairfield, Connecticut. I am a sophomore at Lauralton Hall. I am in support of Senate Bill 1054, an act concerning students with dyslexia. However, additional language needs to be added to address universal screening and evidence-based interventions taught by a specialist in reading. I first learned I had dyslexia the summer after first grade. My older brother is dyslexic, and my parents realized that I was having the same challenges learning to read that he did. They knew that learning to read for a child of even average intelligence should be a fairly easy thing to do. When a child who is very bright struggles to read, they most likely will need to have an early intervention consisting of a program that includes explicit, intense, systematic instruction in phonics as quickly as possible. Early intervention is critical for so many reasons. By the end of second grade, learning to read is over, and teachers turn their focus on reading to learn. Without proper intervention before this time, dyslexics are left behind in the classroom feeling unintelligent, anxious, and scared of being found out or asked to read aloud. School becomes unbearable, and many students give up. This doesn't have to be. My kindergarten and first grade teachers teachers never even suggested or guessed that I had dyslexia. It was only because my parents saw my struggle and suggested to them that I should be tested. I was tested in school as well as privately outside in order to get an unbiased analysis. Once my dyslexia was confirmed, the public school system was not willing to provide the intensive programming that would be critical to have in order to remediate successfully. Studies have proven that I needed a specifically trained reading specialist to work on phonics with me intensely every day. My parents immediately enrolled me in an outside private program called Linden Mubel, which is an 8-week, 4-hour-a-day intensive phonics program. Completing this program before second grade gave me a solid phonics foundation that I was able to keep up with the other students in school. In second and third grade, I was also tutored outside of school in the Wilson Reading Program, as well as doing in-school fluency training until the end of third grade. I was very lucky my parents had the resources to pay for this professional intervention. I am a hard worker, and I put a lot of time into my schoolwork. I still read very slowly, especially in subjects like history and science that tend to have a lot of multisyllable words in their texts. I use books on tape that help me, but it is not always easy. Dyslexia means that I use a different part of my brain to read. It doesn't and won't stop me from getting a college degree or whatever I want with my life. At the beginning of each and every school year, I have a meeting with my teachers and I explain to them about dyslexia. Most of them are not aware of what it even is. How could they not be aware of something that at least 10 to 15% of their students probably have in varying degrees? I often think about how hard it is for all the students that don't have parents that know what it is, or teachers trained to look out for it, or properly trained reading specialists that can administer a program that will give them a solid foundation. I am testifying today because I think it is so important for all teachers to be knowledgeable of what dyslexia is and what to look for. Trained reading specialists are crucial to ensure that all dyslexics get that important base. All students, even non-dyslexics, would benefit from an intense phonological program in the first and second grade. Students should not have to experience that awful feeling of not knowing why they are struggling, and that it has nothing to do with their intelligence. Each year, or even each school day, that it goes unchecked is a terrible tragedy for each and every dyslexic. Identification, understanding, correct intervention, and support is all it takes for a lifetime of school success. Every child wants to succeed. The earlier the intervention, the more successful they will be. Thank you for listening to my story, and know that these changes in the law will absolutely help students get the help they need and change their lives.
Representative Staneski.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I too want to thank you for your testimony. I also want to offer you a little story and why this bill is so important to me. My husband's 60 years old. He has dyslexia. And many years past, we have 4 children. The kids would come over to the house and they would watch him read, and he was an avid reader, and he would read and he would mouth his words. as he was reading, it would be, and our first grade teachers respond, like that, because he needed to do that in order to absorb what he was reading, and he would read again. He has a PhD now in applied math. He's very successful, but he didn't have the interventions before, and he was an outlier in schools. He was sent to get the milk because he couldn't do the assignment in class. So he became a little bit of a troublemaker, not because he wasn't smart, but because nobody understood what was going on with him. We have a 22-year-old, slightly dyslexic. Got early intervention, and I'm hoping he'll be as successful as his father. Time will tell. But I do appreciate this, and this bill is very important to me, and I appreciate your advocacy on part of it and raising awareness. So thank you.